can hear me okay. Yeah, you're making me do this video earlier than I thought I was prepared for. Let me explain. For about a year, I have been, well, obviously I've been on the path for a while and finding new methods of healing and dealing with trauma and such. And when I learned how to use pain as the teacher, I wanted to do a video by that title, but I didn't feel ready. And then, the last several months, I've been thinking about, okay, well, the poison is the cure. I have seen that play out in my life, and I use that theory in my life. I implement that in my life to heal my own issues. And yesterday, or the day before, when I made my gardening video, weeding the garden, weeding your garden, metaphorical garden, a couple of you called me out. And you're like, yeah, but aren't some roots good, and brought up all these valid points. And damn, you caught me! Because, yes, it's true, as I responded back to your comments. And I am a proponent of weeds, not just cannabis, but every weed all around us: dandelions, nettles, milk thistle, alfalfa, every chickweed, clover, etc. So, yes, there is a time and a place for everything. And I want to talk about the poison being the cure in relation to healing trauma. Now, in our society, we are basically taught to suppress symptoms, whether it's a medical issue, which, by the way, all medical, physical issues stem from emotional issues anyways. But most people don't know that. So again, you're treating a symptom of a symptom of a symptom, right? But for those of us who want to go deeper and really heal it, not just the surface and the la 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 and make it look good and stuff, but I mean like really get to the bottom of it and use those deep roots. You can't just, even when you're weeding your garden like yesterday, you can't just rip out the roots and not be prepared for the consequence. And as one of the commenters mentioned, that some people leave the roots in their garden to aerate the soil, right? And then permaculture method, where nothing is dug up, you just let nature do its thing, which I am a huge proponent of. However, when we are talking about applying this to real life, covering things up doesn't work. Like, take the Clintons, for example, or anyone, right? The Bushes, or anyone. It's not a side thing or a political thing. The Catholic popes, or, it's just, yeah, you cover things up, but it's still there. You dump all your toxic waste into the water. Well, it's not where it came from, but it's still there, poisoning other people. And that's why we have to heal ourselves first, because when we're not healed first, we all think we're healed, right? And we want to impose our lack of healing, our dysfunction on everyone else, right? And that's where we have to really get out of our minds, our reptile brain, and get into our heart and our feeling, because that's where the magic is at. And that is why feelings are suppressed in this society. And let me go further, because everything is energy. All right? That is where the magic is at. So I'm going to step aside from that topic for a minute. Now, let's say we have our mom dies, our dog dies, we buy a lemon or total our car, you know, something like that, right? And that is, those are actual valid reasons to feel pain, right? Or you're abused as a child or whatever, and then, you know, you're 12 years old, and then, oh, my kid is, you know, horrible and acting out, and what's wrong with her, and or him, and, you know, so then come the drugs and further suppress the trauma. And then as adults, you know, of course we want to cope. We want to get to our job. We want to have functional families, or at least pretend we do, the surface, right? And all those things. So we suppress what we're really supposed to feel. So in this case, the feelings are the poison, right? The re-traumatization, I'm going to use myself as an example and how I use it to heal myself. So some of you, I mean, if you've been following me or my channel or radio show or whatever, that you know some of my triggers, and cops, you know, being abused by them, the system, basically, the whole thing, like, I've been brought into them against my will, not because I actually committed a crime or, you know, like, I've been traumatized in unimaginable ways by people in positions of power, people that, if you watch TV, you probably see often, things like that. And there it goes. There's that feeling. There's that poison, right? That if I was in my regular matrix ego mind, I would want to medicate it, or avoid it, or distract from it, or even meditate it away, right? But if you really want to go deep and heal it, I mean, how do you get good at anything? By repeating it. So I'm not suggesting making yourself uncomfortable, but situations that I feared, like speaking up for myself, and dude, I was made fun of. And not just horribly criticized, but in every way, not just the way I did it, the way I looked doing it, the words that I said, oh my God, oh, what else? There was something important there. Yeah, not just the way I looked saying it being a bitch, but the way I physically looked. Oh yeah, ugly and crooked mouth, and like demeaning every single thing about me. So I could have said, fuck, I'm re-traumatized and I'm never doing that again. Which, you know, I kind of did, and then I got on radio. I never meant to be in radio or public speaking in any way, okay? And I've talked about this before, but even when I was on live TV, WBAM, as soon as a camera position opened up, I'm like, can I have that? Thanks. That's not me. I've never been a show me, look at me type person, unless I'm drinking. But I don't drink anymore, and that's why. But just saying, okay? So, you're only Superman when you drink, right? Yeah, well, anyways, where was I going? Yeah, the poison is the cure. Radio helped me get over my fear. And I'm going to tell you, and I've mentioned this on the show millions of times, like for the first 8 years, every day was like my first day. And I was still scared and nervous and inexperienced and not good enough and still terrified of saying the wrong thing or not saying what I meant to say or, you know, getting enough out or whatever. So I did more of it. I'm completely terrified of cops. To this day, when I see them, I shake, you know. How can I use that poison as the cure? Well, when I'm in a safe environment, a public environment, and they're there, I talk to them. Hey, how you doing? I've had them in line in the grocery store, you know, behind me, or in a restaurant sitting next to me, or even last night in the grocery store again. And I don't like it, and I feel anxious, and I could avoid it and run. But now I can actually have a conversation with people that scare me the most. Psychopaths. What about that? Being abused by that your whole freaking life. Well, you know what? I can stand up to that now. Even in mainstream medicine, for those of you that believe in vaccines and maybe originally they were used or intended to be used in a better way. I don't know. I'd like to think that, have altruistic beliefs. But here's the thing. They use the premise that if they inject you with a little bit of the flu virus, that's going to, you know, you build antibodies and then they're going to make you immune to it, right? Or rubella or measles or this and that, right? They're using that method. The poison is the cure. I'm not saying vaccines. They've never... Whatever, you've heard those shows, or if you haven't, just look on my channel. Not going to go into that here, but look, I talked about this in my detachment video, and everyone thought I was crazy, and I shared with you my mandrake story, and of course everybody thought I was crazy, and the poison is the cure, and as mandrake, you know, it kills people. For those of you who don't know. I walked that, knowing do or die. Like, I wanted to heal so badly that I was willing to put my life on the line. And my walk the last 4 years proves that, without a doubt. I ran from every frickin' trap, every frickin' narcissist, you know, blah, blah, blah. The shit's there. And I learned to confront them. I learned to find new ways. I used their resistance to not just make me stronger, but smarter and wiser, and to find new ways. And then what happened? The universe opened up this whole other world that I didn't even know existed, because I was still pulling at the surface of the roots. What I'm suggesting here is that which you avoid, you must confront. You can't, there's nothing you can avoid. Like, for example, at work, I do the floors. And before I started doing the floors and chopping away at the roots, it was done, it looks all right, and then 20 minutes later, there's still that black trail. Like, it came back like magic, instantly. Like cancer, you go get cancer and you cut it out in one place and it reappears somewhere else, and you cut that out and it reappears somewhere else. Well, why is that reappearing? Because you're not getting to the bottom of it. So use that as a lesson. If you're, say, like me, and frickin' fell for the tricks of almost every single frickin' narcissist psychopath I ever met. Why did that happen? Because I did not dig deep enough. And you know what? It is not about blaming yourself and that whole fucking new age, what is it in you? You know, like insinuating that, and they do this, like there's something wrong with you, and that's, you know, like attracts like. Bullshit. Like attracts like. That's hilarious, dude. The brighter you are, the more darkness, more parasites want to put that light out, right? Because the cockroaches, the vampires, they want to operate in the dark. Okay, so. Whew, yeah, don't be like me. Learn your first 50 times. I'm just saying, what better example, right? The reason that kept happening, the reason, the same, you know, I've talked about before, every relationship, not everyone, that's not true. Until I realized my traumas and then moved on to decent, non-abusing men. Every man up until that was the exact same dude. Like, exactly. Like, different hair. Well, sometimes. Even sometimes they were exactly the same, or from the same country, or from the same family, the same business, the same... Oh my God, it's pathetic. Total Truman Show. But, yeah. So, yeah, there was a common denominator, and yeah, there was something in me, but it wasn't my fault. And that's where we have to separate blame from responsibility, self-responsibility on our way to healing. So, like blaming yourself, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I got in this relationship, isn't going to get you anywhere. What is going to get you somewhere is, all right, I'm here. How do I get the fuck out? And then make your plan and do it. Like, feel the pain, feel the shock, feel the trauma, feel all of that. Go as deep as you need to go. Stay in bed for a month if you need to. Fucking seriously. I am not exaggerating. If that's what you need, do it. Use those emotions, that energy to create your master plan, that magic, your birthright. We used to joke on the show that I get more work done when I'm sleeping than in my waking hours. And that's true. Why? The emotion, the feeling, and I'm not talking law of attraction, bullshit here. I mean, that's all material based. Sorry, follow that crap all you want, but none of it's about personal transformation or growth. It's acquiring wealth and, selling more bullshit to make you, scratch the surface. Okay, you think money will make you happy? Here, have all the money in the world. That's serious. Again, the poison is the cure. Another example, I have a friend who used to be hooked on meth. For a long time, he's been clean almost like 2 decades or something now. And he, like a couple times, he'll just say, God, this really sucks. I should use, and I'd just be like, do it. Well, why? Then, well, you say you want to do it, and then you'll realize why you quit it, right? So sometimes it works like that, like drinking. Like I talk to, dude, all the time. Ask anyone who drinks all the time. And I go to work with people, and I see people all the time, and they feel like shit. They feel miserable all the time. But they go do it again. Why? Not because they like the alcohol, it's because they don't want to feel the pain of the hangover. Yeah, and that's where we come into the addiction to self-pain, which only comes from not going deep enough and avoiding the poison, which is what, in this case, again, the emotions, the feeling, the heartache, the trauma. Okay, now I'm not saying, like, I've been raped, getting raped, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying go out and get raped. No, not saying that at all. But maybe, just for example, I talked about this long ago. Like, I had multiple reproductive health issues when I was younger, allegedly cervical cancer. I was too young and I believed everything they told me. So I can't verify if I actually did have it. I can only verify that I was actually diagnosed with it and went through the procedures without even asking any questions. I also saw how my previous trauma kept me away from relationships and sexual relations, and I did not have sexual relations with them. Things like that. And I realized that there were contributing factors that I could take responsibility for to help me heal that. You can't change what was done, but we can move on from it. We can work our way through it. And the only way through it is to feel it. Yep. And if you need some bitter herbs in the process to help you, I am not recommending mandrake, but yeah. So all of it's true. Weeding your garden, roots. Another comment someone brought up, pulling other people's roots. And I don't believe we ever have the right to pull somebody else's weeds. Really. And on many levels, because it's only something that we can do on our own. And like, even when you go to surface healing, shamanic healings, or this and that, and they take your pain away, and other, other different types of therapies, and your pain's gone, but it comes back. Your disease is gone, but it comes back. Why does it come back? Because you didn't do the work. So, number one, it's not okay to steal somebody else's path from them. Two, it's actually completely disrespectful, and I'll give you an example. I have had beautiful people in my life that, in fact, one pretty much dedicated his life to trying to help me, trying to save me. Great, noble, wonderful, sweet. But what did he really think of me to think that I needed somebody to do it for me, or that I was incapable of walking my walk? Yeah, think about that. Help is good. Being a hand up for other people is wonderful. But trying to take their path away, telling them how to do it, or things like that, no, not okay. Not okay to, cast spells on other people, or it's not okay. It is a violation of free will. Yeah, and who wants to cast spells or manipulate other people and their environment, circumstances, surroundings, etc., other than a control freak? Yeah. Think about that. Okay, so think about your intentions when you're helping people. Are you really helping them? Are you giving them a hand up? Or is it just, to feel good about yourself? And again, staying in denial of your own shit that you need to fix, right? Yeah. And really, you can't really effectively help other people until you've done it yourself. So, yeah, this is the thing. You got to be, so many people are selling you shit. Literally, and you don't need any of it, okay? I'm giving you the secrets, and the secret is there is no secret, and it really is as simple as, I'll use a Bible verse, come ye as little children, okay? That pure innocence, that knowing that you had as a child, that knowing that your kitty or your puppy has, or everyone else in the animal kingdom, right? We had that too. And you can get it back. The poison is the cure. How I have chipped away at my trauma. I did a radio show again, like 3 weeks ago on a network, which, there's some people on there that scare me because I know who they are. But I did it anyways. I went through my anxiety. You can even hear it in my voice in the show, but I did it anyways. Why? Because I know each time I'm not only strengthening and empowering myself, I'm empowering other people who think that they can't do it. And they've been so beat down into that pain loop, like the alcoholic that keeps drinking and doesn't want to feel the pain of the separation, right? Yeah, the separation of what? That's another video. I've done those. I can't get too off tangent. But we get stuck in these pain loops because of our unhealed trauma. And we just repeat the same thing. Again, me and the narcissist, or, the alcoholic, or the meth, or, whatever it is, right? Because we're stuck in that pain loop. And that pain loop is not you. Okay, so again, getting back to people trying to blame you or shame you. Yeah. Okay, you know, oh, well, you have only your own damn choices to blame. That's not true. You did not choose to be born in a dumpster, in a military lab, or to a sex trafficking ring, or a drug addict, you know, blah, blah, blah. And if you did on another level, fine. But that does not erase the human aspect of it, that we are emotional bodies and have to frickin' feel it. You can't just scratch the surface. Right? So again, I reiterate, don't be afraid to feel. People are going to hate it. Whatever. You can get out of that pain loop. And you know what? There's this dude, been watching some videos on YouTube. I think David Snyder. I recommend going and checking out some of his videos because there's like one video I've watched like 3 times. And another dude I recommend is Dr. John Sarno. Like if you have pain, physical pain, and things like that, because again, that's all related to trauma. And when you heal the trauma, the physical pain will go away. So I think that's all I need to say right now. You have a good day, and I'll get back to my business. All right, peace. Thanks for the comments. Oh, and likes and shares and subscribes. And I've been watching YouTube videos lately. I think I'm supposed to say that because everybody says that. So I don't know. If you want to, cool. If you don't, that sucks. Okay, thanks. Bye.